So the beginning of the year for Apple is normally a very slow time of year, with the exception of last year in the Vision Pro announcement, but we do have a lot of news to kind of give us a lineup or a roadmap of what to expect in 2025. There are over 20 new Apple products coming out, from updates to new product categories and everything in between, so let's talk about the 20 plus items or products that Apple's releasing in 2025, and let's discuss them all in the comments down below and see which one you're most excited for. Let's get into it. Now, I want to make this a relatively quick rundown. I'm not going to go into the detailed specs of every one of these products because then this video would end up being an hour long. But to start off in probably Q1 to maybe bleeding into Q2, we have a few new products coming out, starting off with the brand new M4 MacBook Air in both the 13 and 15-inch sizes, and I'll leave a video link down below because I do go in depth of 4 things to expect with that update, with some of them being center stage camera, better battery life, better external display support, and a few other things. So the M4 MacBook Air should be first coming up in Q1 of 2025. We also should be getting the revamped iPhone SE 4, which should give us an edge-to-edge panel from an OLED perspective on the display. Gone will be Touch ID, and we're going to be bringing in Face ID. I kind of envision this looking like a maybe iPhone XR or maybe like a 13 mini. And of course, it'll probably rock at least the A17 Pro to have Apple Intelligence built in, because I do not think Apple's going to be releasing any more new products that are not Apple Intelligence related, so that should give us a big bang for our buck from an iPhone SE perspective. Next up will be the iPad 11th generation, and I recently made a video talking about how the best bang for buck iPad right now is the iPad 10th generation, because on Amazon it's only $299 and it is rocking that A14 Bionic. But we'll probably get a spec update for the iPad 11th generation with an A17 Pro, or maybe Apple makes a watered down version of the A17 Pro that has 8 gigs of RAM for Apple Intelligence that'll go into the iPad 11 as well as the iPhone SE to make sure it doesn't cannibalize any other sales from other iPads like the iPad Mini 7. And then lastly, the big one that we should be getting in the first half of 2025 is going to be the new HomePod or HomePad kind of accessory and HomeKit hub that combines a HomePod with a display to be the center of your HomeKit hub when it comes to being able to control your smart home with all your HomeKit accessories. So that should be the size of maybe an iPad Mini or 2 iPhones side by side, with a HomePod as a speaker base, and of course that's going to have Apple Intelligence built in to be kind of your home assistant and your main hub, like I continue to mention, of your smart home. Now in this video we are mostly focusing on hardware releases as opposed to software, because normally in the summertime that's when Apple gives us WWDC and they're going to announce iOS 19, iPadOS 19, macOS 16, and then I bet you a slew of Apple Intelligence updates and roadmaps will be coming out around this time frame. But the new AirTag version 2, or whatever Apple's going to end up calling them, should have some nice quality of life updates, with 2 main features being better range overall, so you're able to find these even at a farther distance with that beautiful Find My UI, and then secondly, better privacy features, because if you remember when the AirTags first initially came out, there was a lot of stuff happening from a privacy perspective of not using AirTags to track your stuff, but other people or bad actors using AirTags to track other people, which is something that Apple has fixed with software updates over time, but the AirTags 2 will just be something on top of that. And then we should get the reveal of a brand new M4 Ultra chip, which should go in the Mac Studio, and it will be, again, the most powerful M-series chip that Apple's ever made, and it'll probably wow a lot of people from a price to performance to efficiency standpoint as well. And I bet you Apple will tease an M4 Mac Pro, which again, there isn't much to that right now, and I don't really know who's using the current M version of the Mac Pro, but Apple should tease it during WWDC with a release date looming towards the end of 2025. And then as we start to round off the corner of 2025 and get into the fall and the winter time frame, the fall is a big deal for Apple because that's when they unveil a lot of their hardware products from an iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods Pro perspective, because that is their moneymaker and that is their breadwinner. So we should get the iPhone 17 lineup with a couple of different changes that we aren't used to. So of course, we're still going to have the regular iPhone 17, but between the iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Pro normally sits some sort of plus model or a mini model depending on what year you're looking at, but Apple should be replacing the iPhone 17 Plus with their brand new iPhone 17 Air, which we have discussed and talked about on the channel. It's just going to be a much slimmer form factor, a different camera array. It's supposed to give us kind of the bleeding edge of form over function, which is something that Apple doesn't really do, but we should be seeing the thinnest iPhone ever made from Apple with some awesome build materials. We just don't know what the price point's going to be, what it's going to be compared to, if it's going to be worth it to get that one over another one from a pure spec perspective. I think this is going to be more of a fashion forward or form forward type of product versus an actual use case and feature set product. But we'll see exactly what that looks like when the iPhone 17 Air or iPhone 17 Slim finally does release. I for one am excited to see exactly what this thing looks like. And then of course we'll get the 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max, which I do believe will get a smaller dynamic island, better cameras overall, and I have a whole video talking about my wish list for the perfect iPhone, so I hope Apple does take a little bit of note on what that looks like. Next up, let's talk about the Apple Watch Ultra 3. We did get the Ultra 2, I guess 2 years ago now at this point, or a year and a half ago now at this point. Then we got the Ultra 2 in the black version, which again was the same exact version of the Ultra 2, just in a different color, so we should be getting a new Ultra 3 with some new added features and possibly a little bit of a different design overall. With the 3 key features being 5G connectivity, high blood pressure detection, which I think is going to be very beneficial to a lot of people, and then also satellite connectivity, which is something that I do welcome on the Apple Watch Ultra. And then of course we'll get the Apple Watch Series 11, which shouldn't be a big departure from the Series 10 at all. It'll probably be the same form factor, just some tech specs and updates on the inside with some other health benefits and other health sensors. And then to continue on with the Apple Watch situation, we should be getting a brand new Apple Watch SE because it is due for an upgrade, and it should have a more modernized look with possibly being made of plastic. I'm sure the plastic they use will be of high quality and it won't be just the regular plastic that you see every day, but I do think Apple's going to do something to cut down the price point of the Apple Watch SE while still keeping it visually appealing and visually aesthetically pleasing to most people. And then next up, we should be getting a new version of the AirPods Pro 3 because we've had the AirPods Pro Gen 2 for a while now, and it got a little bit confusing with that one because it released as a lightning cable accessory first, then it had the USB-C charging case, then MagSafe was added, and then you started getting software features like the hearing aid test and hearing aid features as well. So having the Pro 3 come out will be a true actual update to the AirPods Pro, so we'll have the H3 chip, better active noise cancellation, and possibly a different change in terms of a form factor or better battery life for that matter. So AirPods Pro 3 will probably be the first thing that I purchase, but if you guys are in the market for the AirPods Pro 2, they're literally $100 off on Amazon, and I think it's the best bang for buck that you can get for any Apple accessory. Then we'll finally get a new HomePod Mini 2, which should have the first in-house Wi-Fi chip, which will give us more of those aha and magic moments when it comes to using it alongside your other Apple products and the Apple ecosystem. And then finally, we might be getting an M5 iPad Pro towards the end of the year, as well as the M5 MacBook Pro, which will be the first time Apple announces these M5 chips, and that's usually what they've been doing with their M series. They kind of throw their best or their newest low-level M series chip or the basic chip into the iPad Pro to see how it works, see how it functions, use the iPad Pro as a guinea pig, and then release their M5 Pro, their M5 Max, and their M5 Ultra in future iterations and future products. And then lastly, some other rumors that we might get an update to the Pro Display XDR or the Studio Display or both of them. We just don't know exactly what they would do to them as of right now because the Pro Display XDR is now going on 5 or 6 years old. Studio Display is about 3 or 4 years old now at this point, so it's time for those to get an upgrade. But unfortunately, one thing that people have been wanting is a cheaper version of a Vision Pro, or maybe a new version of a Vision Pro, but I doubt that we're going to be seeing that in 2025, and that's going to be more of a 2026 type of venture, and we'll see exactly what Apple's kind of strategy is moving forward with the AR/VR world because of the Apple Vision Pro. But that'll do it for this video, everybody. If you did enjoy, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end of this video. And let's also discuss in the comments what your favorite Apple product is currently, what you're looking forward to in the future in 2025, because I know that there's a lot of nice things and awesome stuff coming this year, even though some people think that Apple's lost their innovation and their know-how on how to really make awesome products, which I think is misleading. But that'll do it, everybody. If you want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace. Let me know what you guys think about this product list and what you think is the probability of each of these products. Peace, everybody.